My name is Ronnie Goodless and you're watching Toffee TV.
Welcome to Toffee Tweets on Toffee TV. All the reaction from Everton's 3-0 defeat on Manchester United. We ask you for your reactions every week on Twitter at ToffeeTV1 using the hashtag ToffeeTweets. We've had quite a few in this week, as you'd imagine. Not all that angry, again, as you can imagine. John Pearce, Owl Southall has said, whatever issues Martinez has with a granted inconsistent Mirallas, he needs to play on the left and wait for Pina. Listen, I don't think we can wait for Pina. We'll be waiting for the rest of our lives. We badly miss him, but I think his time's come. John continues with, Howard has been a truly decent servant. Time to hang up your gloves, lad. Time's behind you. Down to two early goals. Down to him, for goals 1 and 3. Continues with, what's going on here, Jake? How many tweets are you getting? We continue
12.
to concede at set pieces and cannot score them. Do we practice them? Or are we turning into Arsenal here? Completely right, John. I think you hit the nail on the head. Set pieces. The last 3 goals, is it, we've conceded from set pieces now? We seem to be terrible. And you're spot on about Tim Howard, and I actually put the set pieces down to him. He doesn't come and get them. And I think that puts a lot of pressure on the defence to clear. Paul Brown says, gutless performance. No one apart from Lukaku looked interested. Howard is horrendous as well, by the way. Fred Gold says, Galloway wasn't the same. Seemed a bit shaky than normal. First time I've missed Baines. Absolutely agree. I thought Galloway looked isolated out there. Looked like to be on his own. He didn't have anyone in front of him helping him out. And Jagielka was not really helping him out either. And he had a bit of a bad game as well. Mitch says, used to love him, was a good goalkeeper and did a job. He stayed too long and his time is fastly being tarnished. I think he might be talking about Tim Howard there. That might be a second tweet. Jake, you may have missed the first tweet there. Declan says, there was no clear game plan today, no counter-attacking or possession-based football, and this has created a Moyes-esque performance. Absolutely agree with you. I think it was like a hybrid. It was supposed to be counter-attacking, but we had Naismith playing, so that really didn't help. Really poor. Daniel Hayes says, United knew our game plan and coped with us easily. We lacked any real quality or fight all game, second to every ball. Again, completely agree. I think Louis van Gaal got the tactics exactly right. He knew we were going to try and play in the counter-attack and soak up the pressure, but United just kept us in our own half by playing Schneiderlin and Schweinsteiger, and we just couldn't get out. And having 2 fast players against our full backs just meant we had nowhere to go. David Parkin says, McCarthy needs dropping. Naismith was terrible. No movement, pace or flexibility in midfield. What is Tim Howard? I sort of agree with you about the midfield. It's looking a little bit flat. McCarthy is a strange one. Sometimes you don't notice that he's playing well, and sometimes you just don't notice him. He's a strange player. Tim Howard, yeah. Philip Holding says, Howard is awful. Coleman can't defend. Lukaku played well. Everyone else was poor. Howard, yes, I think we're all on the same page. Tim Howard, I think the sooner we get a new goalkeeper, the better. Coleman probably had one of his worst games in an Everton shirt for a long time. I thought he was very poor. And the pace against him just destroyed him, which is unusual for Coleman. Stephen _ Malan has said, Roberto Martinez bangs on about flexibility. We are in a lot of interviews, but we play the same formation style every week. Yeah, I think you're right. We play a variation of the same style, but I think Saturday proved that sometimes we do get unstuck against the very best teams. They do seem to work us out very easily. Adam Hill 95 says, we're too predictable. 4-2-3-1 every game. Lukaku is isolated too much. Time for something different. Again, I agree. That is a major concern, is that we play the same way all the time. We may play a variant on that style, but it seems to be the same style all the time. Too negative for me. I think that's one of the big problems. I think we're too negative. Matthew James says, I'm too sad to be angry. The biggest loss today was Howard Kendall. The rest doesn't matter. A true EFC great. You're probably right, Matthew. When you look at the bigger picture, a defeat isn't the worst thing in the world when something like that happens in life. But you know what? Sometimes you'd like your team to reflect the atmosphere as well and go out there and fight and play with a bit of heart, and that sadly was missing on Saturday. Everton Viking says, Joel until January, new keeper then, and ship Howard out. Terrible performance. Lukaku, only one who cared. Again, Tim Howard, can only agree. He just looks worse and worse by every game. He can't come for set pieces. He just doesn't seem to offer anything. And that third goal, I know Jagielka was mainly a fault, but the thing about goalkeepers is they have one job, and that's to save the ball. And when you lie down before the play's actually shot, then you're not going to save it, are you? Tate Callingham says, absolutely infuriating game to watch. United in cruise control from minute one. Lukaku hold up play really improved. I thought Lukaku was fantastic second half when we were at our best, but we just don't get players around him. You know, he has improved in the recent weeks, his hold up play, but we don't get players around him. And if the opposition get players around him, it's going to make it very, very hard for him. You know, United fans waxing lyrical about Smalling, who thought it was a great game, but when Lukaku was his best second half, Smalling just couldn't get near the fella. You know, so I just think we just don't get enough players around him. Jake White says, when is Peg going to put the gloves on and get in goal? Would do a better job than Mr. USA. I'm not completely convinced about that, Jake. You know, I've played in goal before. I played in goal at Goodison once, actually. Again, Tim Howard, it's getting quite obvious now. He had a decent start to the season, but he's just dropped off again and again. And anyone who watched him play for America last week, the goal they conceded to Costa Rica was abysmal again. It's just not good enough. It's as simple as that. Look at the hair. Look at that one save. It might have been an absolute amazing save, but that was a one save that made sure they were 2-1 up. Tim Howard saves he should be making, but he doesn't make those saves that win games, and that's the difference. Lawrence Howard says, I actually wish Cleverley was playing. Barry was a bit abysmal all game. I'd have to disagree with you about Barry. I think he's playing quite well recently. I think United just had the pace over him. Simple as that. I think they just had the pace. And finally, Sophie Gallagher says, disgusted. I am done with Martinez. I want him to go. His treatment of Mirallas is disgraceful, and set pieces, no words. Yes, the Mirallas thing is very, very strange, Sophie. Cannot understand it. Yes, he made a fool of himself against Swansea by getting sent off, but we really needed him on Saturday, and we had 4 wingers on the pitch at different times, and one of them wasn't Kevin Mirallas. That, to me, is very, very strange. The lad signed a new contract. He's on a wage, therefore you play him, or he should have been sold. One or the other. It's very, very strange. I don't understand it. This has been Toffee Tweets. Thanks for getting in touch. Don't forget to, if you want to say something, put it in the comments below. Give us a big thumbs up as well. Don't forget to follow us as well. Subscribe to us. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. It is @ToffeeTV1. Thanks for watching.